Jay here, Dirt Bike TV. We have an 890R front wheel. So this would be, most tubeless KTM style wheels. We have a leak right here in our buddy Donnie's wheel. And we assume that there is a rock or something in between here with our Dunlop tire. This has been on about 6 months, so it's not an install issue. Something's happened since then. And so we're gonna pull it off. We've talked to a few people, and it appears that the best solution is to put a heavy duty tube in there. So right now we're gonna pull it apart, and I think we're gonna put this tube in. Here's some tips on it right now. All right, you let the air out, and I think it's gonna knock off the bead pretty easy. We could get out our Rabaconda if we need to, but I don't think we're gonna need to on this front. So we'll see if we can knock it off the bead, because we already know it's leaking right in here. And we're gonna try to look in here and see what our issue is. Let's take a look in there. Can we see some gravel rocks in there? Little debris. So we're gonna knock it off the bead and then take it off and inspect it further. But we don't want to have this problem, and Donnie's going on a big ride, adventure ride. We're gonna do a few hundred miles out in the wild, and so probably just gonna put a tube in. Now, if this was the rear, we'd be knocking it off on the Rabaconda to break the bead.
A lot nicer than it's in front, huh?
Yes, yeah, way easy. Obviously. And there's our spot right there. So we're going to save that. So when we pull it off, we can inspect it and see what's going on. And then we'll rebalance this when we're done as well. Because we'll have to take this valve out. There we go. Yeah, there we go. For sure. Now, do we know which way?
This side is this side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the left side, like a dirt bike.
Yes.
Okay, now let's inspect our little spot here. I'm gonna get some glasses on. Yeah, it just got some dirt in here. And let's look at the rim in here. Okay, so coming in here, there's just a little bit of debris in here. And this is a stock 2 bands. There's a band right here where my finger is, that's black on black, and then a rubber one right here as well. The KTM shops would want to just put new strips on here. So I think we're pretty convinced that we're just gonna put a tube in, and the tire's fine, and so we're just gonna throw a tube in right now. Here's our little air filler. I've never removed one of these. Inside here looks like a 10 millimeter. And I have a 12 on the outside there. And then this is gonna come apart like this. We could save this if we ever wanna use it again later. Okay, we have a brand new Dunlop 606. Right, Donnie?
Yep. And
directional tire. And really good performing tire for these bikes. And we're going to powder this up. And since we have this off anyway, we're going to put the brand new one on. It's really good performance right there.
I think it's best idea for a new one.
Boom. Okay, so we're going to drop our tube in here. Just like this. This dot is the lightest spot on the tire. So people will tend to line it up with the valve stem or different manufacturers. It's not critical, you're gonna balance anyway, but that gives you a reference. So we get some tire paste in here. We got a little bit of air in the tube. And it is a directional tire, so we're gonna make sure, that's why we wanna know which side this is. This is the left side of the bike, and so our tire's going this direction right here. So we're in good shape there. We're going to come here, and they have it leaves a big hole, but we have those rubber pieces like that come on a Honda, like a CRF or a CR, they have a big hole there too, so we'll run that in this spot. And then I'm going to push with my body against it like that, and I should be able to leverage it down pretty easy. I'm going to lift with my left hand, just like that. Now I'm going to push the tube all the way in all the way around. Okay, so our tire stand we use is really helpful, and we have a drawing to where you can make your own blueprint, so to speak. You can email us, the link's in the description or from our website, and that'll help you a ton when you're doing your own tire changes. So what I've been reading is it sounds like most all guys are switching out to tubes. Our bead buddy's not long enough in this situation, so we're going to kind of keep a hand here like this. And I'm talking to Motion Pro about making a longer bead buddy. This is the Moto one. And I'm just bouncing around. And that thing might come shooting off here in a second, but it's pretty relatively easy tire to mount up. And just keep knocking it off the bead there. My leg goes under. And that's why my foot goes on this stand, and it really helps me be able to get up in here. Then I can pull this off. Now we're going to beat it up. Let's let that we got a couple more. I think there's another spot on the other side. Let me see. Okay, we are beat it up the whole way around. Pretty simple. Now let's clean it up and set pressure, and then we can balance it. Okay, so we're going to set pressure around just 22 or so for right now, and then we can have Donnie set it later. So Honda has these little things, and they're also available from Tusk. They make these little rubber pieces that we'll put over. That'll cover up that big hole there. And since we have plenty of valve stem showing, I'm going to put this on also and dial it down so we don't want to get any dirt and water in that because it's a larger hole. Now we're going to tighten this up just a little bit like this against that rubber piece. Oh, that looks pretty good. Then we got our works connections, like a metal cap. They seep out a little less and seal good. So we're going to put that on next. And that looks really sharp right there. This is going to throw our balance off a little bit though right here, right? So we have some weights right here from the stock setup. So we'll adjust that. So we'll be balanced now because I got this one on the other side of the tire. All right, so we just got set up. Really simple static balance tips to do. We have some other weights on here. I'm probably going to take some of those off right now. So I'm going to remove, we can't really get an accurate reading with any of the weights on, and they're not where we need them to be. So we're going to pull these stock ones off, which were kind of nice because they were black and matched the rim. So with everything off, this seems to be our lightest spot on the tire because you want to be able to go somewhere and hold it and have it stay there. It's not going to do that right now. It's going to keep going like this, and if I slow it down, it'll come back. But you don't have to slow it down. You can just let it take its time. It's going to do the same thing and just come right back to there. So we're going to want to add some weight right here and see what we can do. So we need a little bit more. Oh, it's falling to the bottom a little bit. You see how it was pretty much still? Yep. I'm going to move this to here. Okay, let's try it again. Oh, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, so we've got our two weights. You can get these on Amazon, or companies like Takomoto have some. I'm pretty much out. I'm going to need to order some more in here, Donnie. And then we're going to, we got them all cinched up nice. Obviously, if you need to adjust your spokes, you're going to have to do it and redo it. I'm going to tape them up so it doesn't look so ugly. Also, they'll just be a little bit more secure. This isn't duct tape. This is harness tape, which is a little bit flatter, black, and kind of easier to work with than electrical tape. Okay, so that's a wrap. Looks better with our tape on there. And if they ever did come loose, we're going to secure them there a little bit. We'll report back on what we think of this thing, but so far I think this is going to be the way to do it on these adventure bikes. We didn't see a whole lot of other videos of people doing this. When I talked to the guys who adventure bike ride a lot, that's what they suggested on these tubeless ones. We put tires on the V-Strum, and it came with tubes, stock. We put heavier tubes in that one that Rado's riding, and so I think this is going to be the solution here. So hopefully you guys helps you guys out if you're going to do your own. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time on the track or trail.